As the government shutdown extends into the weekend with no clear end in sight, more federally funded agencies are relying on emergency plans to stay open for the millions of Americans who depend on them. While some programs like Social Security are guaranteed continued funding, others face greater uncertainty like food banks. So here with more on what they could be facing, the director of the Mercer County Food Bank, Becky Page. Becky, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So, thinking back to the 2018 shutdown that lasted 35 days, how much did you see people turning to the food bank for help?
Of course, whenever the government shuts down, it's a time of uncertainty for food banks and the charitable food network. Of course, we could see more folks coming to the lines depending on the length of the shutdown. So we're just preparing for that along with our busiest season ahead.
And we're only day 5 into the shutdown, and October's SNAP benefits were also already distributed. But what kind of impact do food banks start to see the longer a shutdown drags on?
We'll see more people coming to the lines. We've already had an increase in September of more folks we're serving each and every month. On average, it's about 13,000, and last month we hit over 15,000. So we anticipate this need to increase as we head into the winter months.
Wow. And we know that the USDA has contingency plans to keep essential services running during a shutdown. But do you and other local food banks have any kind of backup plan if the situation starts to drag on?
Yes, we are already in our emergency plan. We have been operating that way for this entire year, shifting resources. As we know, a lot of food was canceled through the USDA earlier in the year, and the ending of the LFPA program, which was money for PA farmers that we use to get fresh produce out to neighbors. So we're already operating in that capacity, and we'll continue to do so until there's some light at the end of the tunnel.
So we're also, we're dealing with this shutdown, but at the same time, Pennsylvania has also been dealing with a budget impasse for months. What impact has that had on your operations?
Sure. The budget impasse we're experiencing right now has been the longest I've seen in my 5 years in Pennsylvania, and we're just hopeful for a resolution soon. We have about $250,000 in food and funds that go to our network of 65 member agencies tied up in the state budget. So it's fewer resources and more need is what we're facing right now.
Has it forced you to scale anything back?
No, we are tracking just below poundage where we were at this time last year, and that's because of the generosity of our community. As I said, we've been operating in our emergency plan. We've been having stuff the trucks all over Mercer County to help make up some of this food loss that we've had, and we've had some incredible donors step up. So we're on track to probably distribute just slightly less than we did last year, just under 3 million pounds of food.
And Becky, the holidays are right around the corner. How much do you typically see a demand for your services increasing heading into November and December?
They increase substantially because a lot of families are facing those impossible choices of utility bills, medication, or food, and food always comes last on the list. So we are ready to serve our neighbors this holiday season.
And Becky, before I let you go here, can you tell us how important donations are and where people can donate, how they can help the people?
Donations are incredibly important, especially now facing all the federal and state issues that are going on. And anyone can make a donation of food by just simply dropping it off at our location in downtown Sharon, or make a monetary donation at our website of mercercountyfoodbank.org. Or if anyone's looking to volunteer to give some time, we can always use volunteers, especially when we are facing an increased need.
All right, sounds good. Becky Page, once again, thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Thank you.
Have a good one.